Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Today is December 30th. We're almost hitting the new year. Tomorrow will be New Year's Eve. I will uh, give you some insight into what is coming up in 2019 and all things tavern. I'm excited. It's a lot of stuff that's on the slate, so it's pretty cool. But yesterday I talked about artifacts and how I thought they could be pretty much a campaign wrecker. Uh, Tim Shorts called in with his thoughts on the matter. So we're going to listen to Tim, and then I am going to come back and give you my thoughts, not just on Tim's response, but on how artifacts can be handled the right way. I think. I might be wrong. We'll see.
Hey Eric, Tim from Gothridge Manor here. Great episode. Love the talk about artifacts. We've shared apparently very similar experiences with that in campaigns. Yeah, we had fun with them though, because while we had tables for, like, later on when we matured a little bit more, we actually put in like drawbacks of the items, purpose for the items. They were created for certain things or whatever, but yeah, they definitely, if you got introduced to your campaign, then you were in trouble. But the other thing is, what had happened is some of the DMs would just start sending everybody after you because they wanted the artifact, and if you had it, all these other adventurers wanted to take it from you. So you basically got into the dick mode DM, even though it's very plausible. It just sort of like, so it was like a no-win situation either way for anybody. So, but hey, great episode, Eric, and have a great new year.
Yeah, Tim, like we have similar thoughts on putting artifacts into the hands of player characters. They are, if properly done, a player fuck, and improperly done, they are a campaign fuck. So then between the two, you're probably not going to have much of a game because either you're fucked up your campaign and it's going to come crashing to an end, or you're fucking with your players and they're not going to want to play, and your campaign is going to come crashing to an end. Now, I guess it was Friday night. Netflix now has Avengers Infinity War available on demand, and I hadn't seen it in the theaters. I know, woe is me. I don't have much patience to see movies in the theaters at the prices that they tend to charge and the crowds it tends to draw. So I'd rather sit home and drink beer and eat chips and enjoy my movie that way. What can I say? We don't have movie taverns around here in my part of New York, so not an option for those. What was that, Rachie? Well, right. She's like, "Woe is us, no movie tavern." However, uh, Infinity War, or is it Infinity Wars? Whatever. The latest Avengers movie does show you what is essentially an artifact, the Infinity Gauntlet. In a way, it reminds me of the Rod of Many Parts, because you have your big bad guy going around the galaxy or the universe or wherever the fuck he's traveling, gathering in the Infinity Stones to make his Infinity Gauntlet complete. Like, as he adds stones, he gets more and more powerful, and then in the end, he gets to destroy half the sentient creatures in the universe. All right. That is how an artifact should be used. And I'm not saying to destroy half the creatures in the universe or half the creatures in your campaign world. Although I have seen events like that done. There was a DCC adventure, Power of the White Pearl, or something like that, where if the players do a certain action, I think like every character in the world above like fourth level ceases to exist. That's great if you want to depower your game, but I digress. Can you imagine your players having to stop the big bad guy and gathering parts of an artifact and failing? Here's the issue with watching a good movie and playing your RPG campaign. In a movie like any of the Avengers movies, except for this one in the end, but I'm sure it's a comic book. Everybody comes back from the dead. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but half the universe means half the universe. But what it is they can get defeated at a battle and still live to fight again. Now, when you play D&D, when your player characters lose a battle, what generally happens? Well, campaign's over, start new PCs. If you want to have an artifact like the Infinity Gauntlet or the Rod of Many Parts be a plot device in your campaign, you have to allow your party to experience defeat without experiencing death. Think about that. They got beat, they got knocked unconscious. The big bad just he was too excited about the stuff that he won. He leaves them behind. He doesn't check. Maybe their favorite magic item gets destroyed in the battle or gets stolen. Maybe their favorite magic item is something that's needed to make this artifact get closer to the point. But if you're going to, and this is a whole, I could do a whole huge I could do a whole huge episode on why defeat doesn't necessarily have to mean character death. But we are so used to that in our games, in our campaigns, that another option would be quite useful. When you read literature, fantasy literature, when you watch fantasy movies or science fiction movies, you do see characters get defeated. The main characters suffer defeat, but they come back from it, right? Why do we see that so rarely in our games? There's got to be some way we can approach it, some mechanism that doesn't take away from the deadliness of the OSR. We all know that the OSR is a deadly system. You're dead, roll up a new character, ready to go in 10 minutes. But there should be a way that you can be defeated and not be dead. Because otherwise, you're not going to be able to have a big bad that is returnable. Yes, you can say he had to retreat. There's only so many times they can retreat. What happens if the big bad does defeat the party? Maybe the big bad respects the party, doesn't want them to die. Maybe he needs them. Maybe he needs their push. I don't know. There's a whole thing here right now driving into my head about how to no longer equate defeat with death in our campaigns. And like I said, watching an Avengers movie and watching them get defeated, but there's no coup de grace most of the time, right? Why can't our characters be defeated? I mean, nobody wants to be. I understand that. Everybody wants to be a winner, but you can't value winning unless you've lost. Okay? You can't always get a trophy, but it shouldn't also be that if you didn't get a trophy, that you got to start from the beginning again. I don't know. Got to work on this. This is something that's kicking in my head. Maybe something to look at in the new year. In any case, if you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, it's a longish movie that goes by very quickly. It's not really, I'm not going to give an in-depth review, but there's enough action scenes going on. And if you followed previous movies in the Marvel Universe or Marvel Cinematic Universe, whatever the fuck they call it, you'll catch little pieces and it's like, oh, all right, yeah, that's cool. So it's nice to see them all intersecting. So, yeah, if I go any further on this, I'm not going to stop talking for another 20 minutes. We'll make that an episode for another day. All right, folks. It is, as I record this, December 30th. We're almost at the end of the year. If you want to gift me with a nice review on iTunes, please do so. But you gift me just by listening, to be honest. I really do appreciate everybody that spends their time here on Tavern Chat with me. So thank you. It's been a good year. This month of December so far has seen listening downloads up 50% over the best month prior. So you can't beat that. You can't beat that with a stick. So again, thank you. All right, folks, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Roll your dice well, and I will talk with you all tomorrow.